Hey, Joe.
Hey Ash, how you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, everyone, I'd like you to meet Joe Hayes of Health and Performance in Boston. I've invited him on today to chat about the benefits of regular sauna use, how to get started, how to maximize your sauna sessions, and I think we have a little bonus that we're saving for the end. So, getting started with a sauna can be a little intimidating. I know I personally was never really into saunas, but it wasn't until you and our buddy Scott Herrera from Legacy in Dallas who had introduced me to it. And once you guys gave me like a simple cycle to follow, I was hooked. I was there every week. And so I think that's kind of what's helpful, is to have just a basic cycles to start with and then dive in and progress from there. So, Joe, you've consulted people all over the country on not only how to use the sauna, but how to build their saunas at their homes, at facilities, right?
Yes.
And you're a former athlete, massage therapist, sports and or certified strength and conditioning specialist, SomaTherapist, Somatrainer, ELDOA trainer. So you've got a huge toolbox, and I think you're currently in the Sutherland Academy of Osteopathy program, right?
Yes, in Montreal. So Osteopathic Manual Therapy with Guy Voyer, the French osteopath. So that's kind of when I got started with sauna, as you know, because you're hosting the Somatraining program.
SomaTherapy, in New York.
Okay. So and he also has a training program called Somatraining for the personal trainer or physical therapist. And part of that program is a one-day sauna course. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when I started with Guy, it was in probably early 2000s, maybe 2000, and I was going to California. So I was going to California maybe 4 times a year for 3 or 4 day classes. So that is when I first started to really love sauna. And since then, if I'm doing wherever I go, if I do a course in New York City with you, I've been to all the New York saunas. In LA, I've been to all the New York saunas. And right now in Montreal, I've been to all the Montreal saunas. So it's a great thing to help with jet lag and just to release the endorphins and just feel good. So I thank Guy to get me started in the sauna, and that's kind of where it all started.
Yeah, I've got a new sauna. So once this, once it's safe to resume sauna sessions again, we've got a new one that opened up in Brooklyn, maybe 6 months to a year ago, and actually one of the SomaTherapy students, the newer ones in our program right now, I found out he works there. So yeah, I've been meaning to check it out.
It just opened up.
Yeah, maybe, less than a year ago. And I found out about it and I thought, wow, this is in my backyard. I really got to check this one out. And then, this COVID started happening, so it's on hold. But, there's a lot of talk about infrared sauna. And, I'd love you to tell us a little bit about how that compares to a traditional sauna and what your thoughts are between the two.
Yeah, sure. So I've never been in an infrared sauna. For me personally, I don't do well when the gray weather and the cold, and one of the things is the sauna helps me through that. So I don't have an interest in going, let's say cold New England when it's 10 degrees out into it. Just not hot enough for me.
Yeah.
So I haven't dug a lot into the research with that, but I definitely do think there's some health benefits with the infrared sauna, like all heat therapy. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a whirlpool or a hot shower, those are all healthy. So infrared, usually it's a little cheaper. It's cheaper to run. The electricity voltage is less. The sauna, you don't get as much sweat in it, so it's easy to maintain. Usually the infrared is smaller, so the size of the finished sauna is larger. So all in all, it's just cheaper, more efficient, and easier, the infrared sauna. And there is some benefits to infrared sauna, but a lot of the bigger studies that we see here are more on the traditional Finnish sauna. So a lot of study, I guess the sauna capital of the world is Finland, which 85% of the houses have sauna. And a lot of the studies are coming out of Eastern Finland with a doctor named Jari. I don't want to pronounce his last name, but Dr. Jari. And very thankful for him that a lot of this stuff that we read today in the magazines, that sauna is being good, is coming from him. And there's a woman in California, Dr. Rhona Patrick, and I thank her. She's a researcher, and she's done a great job sifting through the research and getting it out there. So I think she really got it out here, and I do see the saunas here and health clubs starting to get popular. I'm a member of a gym, and they have a decent sauna in there, and I go in there and I see a lot of younger kids in there talking about her studies and the health benefits. So it's becoming popular.
Yeah, and I'm so thankful to her, because she really breaks it down in a way that is so helpful for people to understand the science behind it, not just the trendy sort of headlines about sauna.
Yeah,
right?
she does a great job of dumbing it down for us to regular people to understand, right?
Yeah, totally.
So it's it's definitely showing some great health benefits.
And there's numerous articles and studies of the health benefits. For example, improvement of heart disease, for one. Could you talk a little bit about those benefits of long-term use of sauna, not just going once a month, but really having a consistent use?
And I wrote these down. I'll read them to you. So I'm just going to regurgitate what Dr. Rhona Patrick said here. And there's two main things that it's definitely having a profound look is cardiovascular health and immune health. Those definitely a lot of large human studies. So those are definitely showing results. For example, blood pressure, the endothelial function of the lining of the heart, they're showing benefit with that. So people that, like you said, do long-term sauna use have shown really to drop their blood pressure. But also, if you have blood pressure problems, you got to be careful, because if you're on blood pressure medication, it lowers your blood pressure, and then going to the sauna, it lowers it more. You can have some troubles. So if you do have blood pressure, you definitely need to consult with your doctor first. But done correctly, it can lower blood pressure. It can also increase the ventricular function of the heart, which is a part of the heart that contracts and relax. So regular sauna use is able to relax those the vessels, so your heart is opening and contracting better. So it's very good for the heart. It helps with balanced autonomic nervous system. So what the autonomic nervous system is that's very important with heart rate, heartbeat, digestion, your breathing. Hence, those are very, very important. So what the research is going by is people that have balanced autonomic nervous system have better heart function. So the sauna helps that. It also improves heart rate variability, which is the beats between your heart. Okay, so sauna over time helps the heart rate variability. And the heart rate variability is a big indicator of a biological age. So if you have a better score, you're younger. Okay, so sauna use can help that as well.
So
and
those that are scared of aging.
Like all of us, yeah. So it slows down aging, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
In an article out of Journal of Neurology, okay, for the brain, it really helps with Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so what happens is we have these proteins, and these proteins with age or stress begin to break down and change structure. Okay, so the sauna use has been shown, if you do sauna 2 to 3 times a week, 14% less likely in stroke risk. And if you do the sauna 4 to 7 times a week, 60% less chance of stroke risks. Okay, and also big research now on Alzheimer's disease. Okay, Alzheimer's is like a breakdown of the proteins, and you get these plaque formations. So sauna is huge with preventing Alzheimer's. Okay, so muscle atrophy, no better time right now, the coronavirus, right? A lot of us aren't doing much. Lucky you if you have a sauna at your house.
Yeah.
Right, and that can help save muscle. It's not going to stop it, but it's going to slow it down. So muscle loss. And there's a few little studies which it can improve endurance. Okay, so a 2000 study done on male distance runners showed that regular sauna bathing increased the runner's time to exhaustion by 32%. Okay, so what it does, it helps with the plasma red blood cells, the blood. Prevents insulin resistance, right? Insulin's a big biomarker with age and longevity. Okay, it's the body's ability to break down glucose and deliver to the cells. So it helps with diabetes or insulin resistance. Helps with tissue injury. Okay, and it helps with depression. So there was one study in particular. There was two groups. It was a very controlled study. They gave two groups a medication, a pill. One was a fake pill, and one was a depression medication. And what the study showed is the sauna group had better results. So it was just one sauna session. I think it made both 30 minutes long. They felt better for 2 weeks. Okay, so that's a profound effect. So the largest study that most of us have heard is out of Eastern Finland. This was about a couple of years ago. It was 2,315 subjects, 20-year study, very controlled. They took blood work each year. The average age was 45 to 60 white men. And they did sauna. And the men that saunaed 2 to 3 times a week were 22% less likely to develop cardiovascular disease.
Wow.
And the men that saunaed 4 to 7 times a week were about 50% less likely to have cardiovascular disease. Okay, and very interesting, like exercise, the study also showed with the intensity, meaning the duration in the sauna. The men that did the sauna 11 minutes had lower cardiac death by 7%, and the men that did the sauna for 19 minutes had 50% less cardiovascular death. That's the biggest study. That's the biggest study to date with humans. 20-year study, amazing effect for the heart. And minus the impact, you don't impact the joints like you would in running, right? So, what's the molecular reason why? How does this work? Scientists don't know exactly. It might be the social aspect, or it might be like because the heart rate increases. It's like a moderate form of exercise. Okay, it's a moderate form of exercise. So those two factors might be important. And then at the molecular level, as Dr. Rhona Patrick talks about, there's two big genes. One is called the heat shock proteins. Okay, we all as humans have these heat shock proteins in us. And some of us, especially the people that lived greater than 100 years old, have shown to have genetically more of these heat shock proteins in their body. Okay, these heat shock proteins, when activated, whether it's exercise or the biggest is heat, like the sauna, they activate these heat shock proteins. And those, it's very important to have these heat shock proteins because it helps damage cells. Okay, so with damaged cells, what happens is these proteins begin to change shape in a bad way, and then they can start to mutate down to the DNA level and lead to cancer. So to prevent that is to have these heat shock proteins more active, and they go in there like Pac-Mans and clean things up. And the heat shock proteins also activate a gene, 3 genes. FOX3 genes is also associated with longevity. Okay, so basically, to sum it up, is one of the best forms to activate these genes that help with aging.
So on that note, is it true that sauna is good for detoxification, right? Because we're sweating everything out. So kind of on a basic level.
Yeah, I mean, sweating is very important for the blood pressure system. You know your blood's generally one way to know if your blood pressure is doing well. If you go in the sauna and you start to sweat right away, that's a good sign. You know you have blood pressure. And if it's not good, one way to help that or improve that is sauna use. Okay, so that's what. But as far as detoxification, does the sauna detoxify? Yes, a little bit. It does detoxify a few metals, and one in particular is candium. So candium is a heavy metal, which sauna seems to get that one out better than the other ones. but I wouldn't say, and it's a minute amount. So
Right.
if you go into the sauna for detox heavy metals or for fat loss, in reality, it's not going to work so well.
Yeah, that's going to boil down. I mean, it can help, but I'm sure
But
that boils
yeah,
down to like lifestyle,
exactly.
stress management, food, your toxin exposure, all
Exactly.
of
Yeah.
it.
So the research shows there's better ways to do that. But
Yeah. So Joe, this is an important one, I think. When is the best time to sauna? Like, for example, before a workout, after a workout, what are your thoughts?
yeah, so you can think of sauna like exercise, right? So let's say we all know that aerobic training is good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like the sauna, it's aerobic training. So if somebody's going to ask me, Joe, when's the best time to run? Well, you need to know more information: the age, the fitness level, on medications, do you disease, how hot's the sauna? Do you work all day? When can you go, and so forth? And how long you go, and so that all dictates the answer. Okay.
So it depends basically.
So it depends. So let's say the average Finnish sauna is about 176 to 212 degrees. That's the average sauna. And most Finns, I would say, probably go after they work out. Okay, so there is a few little studies that show arterial hardening after strength training, but usually diminishes after. But the sauna helps relax it. So perhaps if I had to choose, maybe sauna is better after you work out.
Mm-hmm.
But again, more studies need to be done.
Right.
It's kind of a nice thing, do I look forward to going to workout? Not so much, right? Because it's a stress, it's hard, but I know it's good for me.
Right, you need to motivate yourself to do it.
Yeah, sauna's kind of like the end of the day, let's relax. So I'm going to give thumbs up to sauna after you work out.
Yeah. And even if you're not working out that day, like I remember when I worked in an office in Manhattan, and on Fridays, that was what I look forward to, was just after work, hitting up the sauna, without any workout, just to
I've done that 100 times.
Yeah, just to really unwind.
That's why I joined the gym across the street from me, because they had a sauna.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, it's the weather's not good, long day. You know what? I'm just going to go to the gym and just do the sauna.
Yeah.
I do that a lot too, but the sauna is good. It's like exercise. So
yeah.
The best is to combine both, but yeah, I hear you.
Right. So what is, or rather, is it best to eat before or after the sauna? And then also what about fluids during and after?
Good question. So again, it's like exercise, right? So let's say you're 20 years old and you're in good shape. You run track, cross country in high school.
Mm-hmm.
If they go run a mile at 10-minute pace, that's nothing for them. They could eat probably whatever they want. So the shape of the client and the intensity dictates what you need to eat. So I would think it's a lot like fitness training, aerobic training for the nutrition. So you might want to eat. You don't want to go to the sauna with too empty of a stomach.
Right.
If you're going for a long period of time, because the sauna is a workout, and then sometimes they go to the sauna for 5 or 6 hours, and they want something in the stomach for survival. But like exercise, you probably want to eat like something light an hour out, like yogurt or a banana or some fast form of carbs, a bagel with nothing on it. And then immediately after the sauna, probably like a protein shake or a smoothie. Again, something that's going to get utilized quick.
Right.
And rest after the sauna, rest for 30 minutes. And then an hour after that, you eat a normal meal, balanced meal.
Yeah, it was confusing to me at first, because I remember, the one sauna we used to go to downtown. I think that's a Russian bathhouse. And so, you have guys there drinking vodka while they're using the sauna. They're having borscht and or even some fried foods. And, I could never do that. I need to go at least have a snack, like you say, an hour before, and then afterwards maybe have something more nourishing, like a warm meal afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, I think that that's probably part of their culture, right, Joe? Like,
yeah, absolutely. So that was at the Russian sauna on 888 Fulton Street in New
that's the
York.
one. That's the one.
Yeah. So again, what's the goal of the client?
Right.
Hey, what's
Right.
the goal? If their goal is to have fun with the boys and drink
Right.
vodka
Yeah.
and not maximize the best healthy method, then that's
Right.
fine. I respect that. What's your goal? Is the
Right.
goal more to work the cardiovascular system, more detoxification system?
Yeah.
The sauna can be used different ways.
Yeah.
But that is, my wife is from Russia. I went there over this winter, and she lives 12-hour train from Moscow, and then another hour bus ride. So this is far. This is remote.
Wow.
And she lives in the village. So in the village, you might have 100 homes, and then a mile away, you'll have another village. And a lot of these villages don't have the shower in the house. So what they have is a Russian banya, and this is what they've used for centuries for washing, taking a shower. And again, there is a lot of drinking in the village. Not all. Usually black and white. Usually you don't drink or you drink.
Yeah.
And it's part of the tradition that they go there probably mainly to wash and for the endorphins to feel good, and to have fun after and drink vodka with their family and friends. So it depends what you want to do.
Yeah. Joe, can you give us an example of a typical sauna session? The time, or at least just to start with. I know it depends for everyone and what their goal is, but just a sort of baseline time, duration, temperature, and whether, what's a good time to incorporate the cold plunge or not.
Sure. So I'll talk about kind of the norm, and then we can talk about Guy's SomaTherapy program. But so I'm a member of this Finnish sauna here, 15 minutes south of Boston, called the UKTS Finnish Sauna. It's been there since 1897 or so. And it's very authentic, very old, very authentic, amazing sauna. And you walk out back into a pond, and there's a big shed. The women go on the women's side, and the men's come on the men's side. And then when you're done, you come out, we hang out, we go swing in the pool. So based on I've learned a lot from the Finns there and from the Russians. And based on my experience, so we go there. First, you might take a shower. Okay. And then you would go into the sauna. So if you're a beginner.
Sorry, Joe, does it matter if it's a cold shower or a hot shower before the sauna?
Just go as you like. Probably go as you like. It'll be lukewarm. Just to respect, you want to go in the sauna and make it clean, right? So first, you maybe just do a regular lukewarm sauna. And then if you're a beginner or if you feel fearful of the sauna, take it easy. Go on the first bench. Maybe the second round, you go on the top bench. That's for the beginner.
The heat rises, so if you are a beginner, you want to start at the bottom, because the higher you go, the hotter it gets, right?
Sure, it's like aerobic fitness. So let's say you're not aerobically fit and you want to start with a running program. My first lap around the track, if I go too fast, I kill you. Okay, there's no warm up. The sauna is no different. It's a cardiac, it's an exercise. So if you're not used to the sauna and heart's not in shape, or if you're fearful, start on the bottom bench, and then the second round, maybe you go more to the top. And a lot of times in the second round, that's when my pores are opened up from the heat. That's when I'll do soap and water to get out the dirt. Okay, and I do the cold plunge in the lake after. I'll dip in the lake, and then I'll probably rest for 10 minutes and then go back in. And I do several rounds. So the Finnish sauna down there is about 220 to 235 degrees. Okay, it's a wood burning. Yes, Fahrenheit, wood burning sauna. A lot of water throwing, and that's it. I'll tell you that I stay there for about probably 3.5 hours, but it goes by so fast.
So so safe to say that you start with, if you can only do 5 minutes because you're a beginner, you start with 5 minutes in the sauna, come out of the sauna, sit down and relax, or walk around mildly for 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then go back in and repeat that sort of cycle and build your way up for maybe start with 3 to 4 rounds?
Yeah, I think, whether you're beginner or advanced, you do
Mm-hmm.
3 to 4 rounds. And if you're a beginner, you're going to probably go in the sauna anywhere from like 5 to 10 minutes. Go where you want. When you want to come out, come out. And then let the heart rate get down, let yourself body get cool, like you want to go back in. And that's it. So it is. It's about 5 or 10 minutes in, come out for about 10 minutes and go back in and do about 4 cycles. If you're new, just take it easy. And as you get accustomed, I see that there's start in the bottom, all fearful. And then after a couple of years, they love it. And they're on the top bench throwing all the water.
Yeah.
Because one thing with the sauna is your body adapts.
Mm-hmm.
So those who do sauna studies have shown that the body core temperature is lower, which is a good thing. Okay, so you get adapted, you get accustomed to it, you get stronger.
And I've noticed that it's not so common here in the States, but somewhere like you say, like in Finland or in Europe, it's much more common to see children use sauna. What are your thoughts on that? Is that safe for children or pregnant women to use a sauna?
Yeah, you know what? So I prepared a little bit for this last night, and I have a Facebook, Joe Hayes Sauna Enthusiast Facebook page, and a lot of sauna friends from around the world. And I reached out to a sauna friend from Finland and asked her the question.
Yeah.
And again, Finland's the sauna capital, and she says, no, they don't worry over there. Okay, she says, number one, it's advised to go to the bathhouses with people, the public ones, because of infection. But just take it easy. And she says, geez, her parents were born in the sauna. She says she's been taking her kids. She went in the sauna since she's been a baby. This is their life. They're used to it. Mm-hmm. There's no problem. Yeah. I asked my wife last night she could look at the Russian literature, and it sounds like if you Google here that the first trimester of pregnancy, you got to be careful. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's more vulnerable. So for the viewers, I would say, hey, consult with your doctor.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not a physician, but in reality, believe me, if you go to Finland, the doctors, they're not stupid. They've been doing it their whole life. They know their body. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you're pregnant, you got to go easier. Of course, they go on the bottom bench. If you feel nauseous or anything, or if you have a complicated pregnancy, I don't think you should be going.
Right.
But in Finland, they don't slow that down so much. I would bet the same thing in Russia.
Yeah.
But in the States here, even a lot of our doctors have really never done sauna before. So
yeah,
just use your head. Consult with your doctor. And again, if it's a complicated pregnancy, absolutely consult with your doctor.
And Joe, do you mind going into, this is kind of our bonus at the end. So, we have the basics for just to get into sauna use if you haven't before, but then there's a lot of people that have been exposed to the sauna. And can you briefly talk about Guy Voyer's one-day sauna course and what that's like?
Sure. I'm just going to back up just 1 second because I didn't answer your question about children. Children generally have a lower core body temperature. Mm-hmm. So they got to be easier. They're going to go easy. So when I go to Finnish sauna, a lot of times in the summer, you'll have some Finnish people come stay here, and they bring their little kids. We're talking about 4 or 5 years old, and they'll come right in the sauna with us. They play in their buckets, but of course, they go easy with the kids. Yeah. So it just like the pregnant woman, just take it easy. But as far as Guy's sauna day course, I've seen nothing like it in any of the literature. I think a lot of the studies out there, to me, too basic. It's like telling everybody run a mile. Running a mile is good for you, but in reality, you kill a couple. The ones that are really good shape decondition because it's not enough. Mm-hmm. And then you have a big portion that helps. So sauna sessions should be a way to measure it, to know exactly what's a good sauna for you, how long you need to go, how frequent, how hot, and when. Okay, but before you can do that, you need to know testing. Okay, so in Guy's Voyer's one day sauna class, how we do is we start out with a roofier functional test. Okay, there's a handful of very good, quite accurate cardiovascular type tests. You don't need a doctor. All you need is a stopwatch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Guy, for example, uses the roofier functional test. You take your heart rate, you squat so many times, you take it again, and you get a score. So the score is 1 through 15. 15 means you better get to the doctor, pathologic, and 1 is, wow, you have a very, very good, efficient heart. So you get a score.
Mm-hmm.
So if I do a roofier functional test and my client scores, let's say a 9, and they ask me about sauna, I said, no, you know what? I think I want you to go see a doctor just to rule out. Okay, so if they fail on the test, I advise my clients to go to the cardiovascular, the doctor, just to get more testing. And sometimes the client they don't tell you all the information. Sometimes they'll tell you, oh yeah, I have a disease, or I'm on this medication, and so forth. So that's number 1. You have the roofier functional test. Number 2, you have a psychological factor. Okay, what did the Finnish study show? Show that the men that did it longer and more frequent had better results. Longer and more frequent, better results. So how many people out there are lazy, psychologically weak, don't work out enough, and don't push themselves hard enough? They don't get the results. Okay, so the second formula is a psychological factor. You have the people that are very claustrophobic, small spaces, the hot, they get a certain number score. And you have the moderate, and then you have the people like myself or you, I'm not fearless, so you get another score. So you got the roofier score, you got the psychological score, and you put that score into a formula called the CAS, the Coefficient Adaptation Sauna score. Okay, so you get that score. And then next is you do your max heart rate, which is 220 minus your age, so you get another score. So it's a mathematical formula with all these scores, and that dictates an idea of how long, how hot, how frequent the sauna session is for you. And what Guy says is you'll go for the most efficient, the best way to do is go about 95% of your score.
Wow, so it ends up being this customized formula for yourself or any of your patients or clients, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, so sorry, it was 95% of the max temperature.
Okay.
Yeah, so first you got to rule out any pathological heart problems. For example, at the health club sauna I went this winter,
mm-hmm.
The guy comes out and he passes out, falls down. I had to call the ambulance, right? And he woke up, and then I asked him, hey, when's the last time you ate? He's like, oh, I didn't eat today. So my thinking was, low blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Went in the sauna, and sure enough, that's what happened. But he got taken out. If he knew his body and did the roofier test before, perhaps that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes sense. Just that's why there's coaches in track and field, right?
Yeah.
If you just tell everybody to go run what you want, you have an idea exactly a sauna session for that person, and that could change if you're stressed and you've been away.
Yeah.
Your test could change. Could change. So
how long does it take to run that test through? Like to run everything through, would you say?
Oh, the test is really quick, probably 10 minutes less or less. 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's something you could do, every so often just to check in on things before.
Absolutely. And Guy will say too, you don't want to get neurotic and taking your pulse 20 times. Part of sauna is to enjoy yourself and relax. So you'll have some viewers out there that say, oh, just go in the sauna and just have fun and relax. Yeah. You can do that if you want, but some people want to, challenge themselves or play it safe. There's many different ways to use the sauna. For example, for me, when I go to the sauna, I don't drink water. I drink water before on the way to the sauna, but I don't drink water inside the sauna. So you have these water in you called the interstitial and the extracellular fluids. So the extracellular fluids is kind of the water that we're trying to get out.
Mm-hmm.
So the interstitial fluid is inside the cell. The extracellular fluid is outside the cell. So think about, I say it like this, think about like this. So you have a lawnmower, and at the end of the year, you want to put it away. And you want no gas in the lawnmower to put it away for 3 months. And at the bottom of the tank, you have soot, dirt. That's inside you, dirt. My goal is to get out the dirt. Okay, so the extracellular water matrix is outside the tissue. That's the water that you sweat. So think of your body like a towel, and I go like that.
Mm-hmm.
Get the water out, and within the water is dirt. Okay, or let's say the detox, the candium. Okay, and that's what comes out. So I don't want to keep putting water in, okay, to fill it up. I want all the water out. Number two, when all the water goes out of the body, you start to get a little dehydrated,
Mm-hmm.
right? So after 2% loss of fluids, you begin to get slightly dehydrated. But it can be a good thing too, okay? So what happens is the hypothalamus, the thirst gland, says to the kidney, shoot, I need water, survival mode, right? So it goes deeper into the tissue to try to get more water out. And the kidney works harder, so it can be good for the kidney.
Right.
So in this sauna program, Guy will talk about what's your goal. There's different ways to use the sauna based on your goal. Number two, for a judo or an Olympic athlete who needs to lose weight, training in the sauna with a jacket on, or training in the sauna like exercise for the cardiovascular system.
So like the squats and.
Yeah, we do a block training. We do a series of different exercises for a period of time. But when you train in the sauna, you got to know the scores. You don't want to kill the person. You want to play it safe. So different ways to use the sauna. And I have not seen that in the research. It's everybody drink fluids. Everybody go in the same temperature for the same time. Come out when you want. It's just from what I see, they need more research.
Yeah. Joe, do you know where or what locations are offering the Somatraining sauna course? Is Lisa Marie doing that in Montreal?
I don't think there's any dates now, especially with this Corona.
Well, yeah.
And, that might be in a couple of years that this sauna course will be offered.
Yeah.
Perhaps in New York. Perhaps in New York City with you and Scott and myself, or Lisa Marie up in Montreal. Now, Lisa Marie is a classmate of mine, an osteopath, and she's been talking. One of the top sauna researchers in North America is in Montreal. And Lisa Marie has been talking to him. Another funny story too. I have a classmate. After our class in Montreal, we go to the sauna, Boda.
Yeah.
And my classmate Rex was in the sauna, and some bigger guy came in. He's huffing and puffing. He opens the door. He says, "Hey, I had a long day. I should go out and train and exercise, but you know what? I don't know." And Rex goes, "Hey, come on in." And then he starts talking, and Rex says, "Hey, listen, you got a cardiovascular workout in the sauna too." And the guy goes, "Hey, how is that so? Because sauna, you go aerobic is you got to go for a slow, steady pace for a long period of time." That's why Rex says, "Hey, that's why we do rounds, sauna rounds." So anyways, he started talking. The guy's a cardiovascular doctor, surgeon.
Wow.
He's a place practice in New York City, in a practice, and he teaches in McGill. So that night, the guy goes home, starts studying. He's texting Rex, "Oh, you're right. That makes sense." So it's getting out there.
Yeah, it's getting out there. I'm going to do my due diligence and find out who at least had some tentative dates for the course, so I can link it in or direct people.
I'm going to say you're about 2 years out, and I'm going to say most likely you'll be up there in Brent and Los Angeles. I bet you're probably you in New York with Scott or me coming, and then I'm sure Lisa Marie up in Montreal, because those three do have saunas. That would be my guess, but in a couple of years. Yeah.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for giving us all this information.
Thank you.
The more the better, especially right now. I think everyone's a little more aware of the importance of supporting the immune system and our overall health. So it's kind of good to just get this information out in a way that people can understand it and at least get started whenever we're, the quarantine is lifted and it's safe to do things like this.
Absolutely. So I'd like to give thanks for a couple people. Number one, all the people at my saunas that I've learned from, whether in Russia or the Finns from Pembroke. I'd like to give thanks for Guy, his knowledge. And you got to check out, if you're on Facebook, Wood Burning Saunas with Christopher Rice. He is probably the best wood burning sauna Facebook page in the world. I learned a lot from him and people on there. And also my friends, Glenn at saunatimes.com. So I think between Glenn and Dr. Rhona Patrick, I thank her, those two people have gotten sauna so popular in the United States the last couple of years. So I thank them too.
And Joe, where can people learn more about your services, whether it's sauna or to see you as a somatherapist, somatrainer? I don't know if you're doing virtual sessions or, when you start seeing people physically again, where can they contact you?
Sure. My name of my business is Health and Performance, and that's at 37 Derby Street, Boston. So my website is Health Performance Boston.
Great.
And again, you can find me there or through Facebook, Joe Hayes Sauna Enthusiast, or Joe Hayes ELDOA Boston, and I'll be glad to help.
I'll go ahead and link that all, when I post this session, so that people can find you and then they can follow you. Also, you always share such amazing studies, and I can link that on because I think people will find that super helpful.
Okay, well, thank you for coming on.
And hopefully soon I can make it out to Boston and we can sauna it up. So say hi to the wife and take care, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks everybody. Stay healthy.
Bye.
Bye, Joe.